Hello, welcome to today's class. My name is Katrina Davis Kendrick. I'm Assistant Librarian and Assistant Professor at the University of South Carolina, Lancaster. During today's very brief presentation, I'll talk with you about the evolution of Facebook, how librarians use this popular social media tool, and share with you how USC Lancaster's Medford Library has implemented its own Facebook presence. So let's get started. By now you should have watched Encompass's video of Susan Franklin's discussion about how Perkins Library at Hastings College has developed their Facebook presence and how that presence has impacted their community. If not, I encourage you to watch the video because within that discussion, Franklin gives a great overview about what Facebook is and how it's developed over the years. Before I talk with you about what we're doing at USC Lancaster, we need to consider librarians' early views of what Facebook was and how they felt it was used. Sharnago and Barnett Ellis note that librarians generally thought that Facebook was targeted to young people to be used for social activities, more specifically for dating. Librarians didn't consider Facebooking a scholarly activity at all, and they thought it was a fad that would soon go away. While many of Facebook's early membership restrictions supported these ideas, the ongoing development of the tool, including expanded membership opportunities, enhanced communication tools, apps, and other sticky features, have debunked these early assumptions. Perkins notes that in 2010, Facebook membership was almost equitably spread across all age groups, with a bit of edge given to users 35 and over. Additionally, Facebook is now a place to make connections with people who have varied interests and not just for dating. Perkins also makes a note that she uses the tool to keep up with the professional activities of her colleagues, giving credence to the idea that Facebook is a vehicle for scholarly and professional communication. That being said, let's take a look at how librarians use Facebook. But first, a question. What did you think of Facebook when you first heard about the tool? And if you are a Facebook member, how has your perception of the tool changed? While many librarians engage in Facebook activities for personal use, I will focus on how they use the tool professionally. So there are two ways that librarians use Facebook, and that is for networking and outreach. First, we'll talk about networking. So remember that idea of scholarly communication that I just talked about with Perkins. Facebook is often used by colleagues to discuss progress on their research. For instance, one of my colleagues just announced a new book contract he'd signed, and earlier this year I posted an invitation to do a research survey. Additionally, librarians post information about grants, LIS programs and advanced degrees or certifications, continuing education, conference opportunities, and other items of interest, times to gather, things like that, in and out of the classroom. So keep in mind that when you get your degree, you'll still be expected to engage in continuing education, and Facebook is a great way to kind of keep up with that. Librarians also ask for assistance with things like things that pertain to daily practice. So while a lot of activity happens on listservs, they will come to Facebook to engage in conversation about best practices, policy creation, discoveries of technologies, program design, and program implementation. Can you think of any ways that you would use Facebook as a networking tool? And consider ideas not only in terms of what I just discussed. Keep in mind that networking also includes building relationships, mentoring, and finding others to mentor. So think of some ways you would use Facebook as a LIS professional to further your career or start someone else's career or help someone along. Another way librarians use Facebook is for outreach, and your reading notes how Facebook contributes to the academic social life of a campus, and that it can, quote, provide students with a virtual campus experience. At USC Lancaster, this certainly is the case since we are a commuter school with some online courses. And even for traditional schools, and in our case, the library's Facebook page acts as a gateway to academic information from departmental contacts and important dates for financial aid and support services. Students who aren't familiar with the school's official websites often click on gateway links that are posted to library Facebook accounts. As expected, Facebook is also used as a marketing tool so that students, faculty, staff, and even the surrounding community are aware of specific services and programs that may be of interest to them that they would not know about otherwise without the Facebook page. Perhaps without Facebook, only the students might know about some programs that a library offers. Facebook makes this information available to the surrounding communities. Facebook also helps to solidify the library's place in the community, not only the campus community, but surrounding communities. So, are you following a local library's Facebook page? And if you are, what kinds of services are they marketing to you or other people? Do they market to children? Say if you're following a public library, are they marketing programs to children? Are they marketing technology programs for working adults? Think about the kinds of services that library is offering and to whom they are offering those services. Now I'd like to share with you what we're doing at USC Lancaster. We opened our account in July of 2010, but there was only intermittent and eventually stagnant activity until I started with the institution in January of 2012. When I began working on our Facebook presence, we only had about 47 followers, and now we have 90 as of December 2012. Students, faculty, and staff and surrounding Lancaster community patrons are represented, and I expect that as we remain active and continue to develop our presence, our numbers will grow. The University of South Carolina Lancaster Library is very small. We have about 80,000 volumes and serve 1,700 students. Right now, we primarily act as a virtual campus, and that means we announce the activities of the Academic Success Center, which is housed in the library. We also promote the use of educational technologies like citation builders and Prezi, tutorials that we've created, and organizational tools like Dropbox. Popular memes, ideas, and images that are passed along the internet are also sometimes used to drive home a particular point in a fun way. One of our most popular memes at USC Lancaster, which is identified by the school's colors, blue and gold, is the Keep Calm and Ask a Librarian meme, which to date has been shared over 100 times via Facebook and has also appeared in various places on the internet outside of Facebook. To encourage use of the collection, we've started Book Themes of the Week, where we highlight book covers. So one week we covered biographies, and I highlighted a different biography cover every day, and we continue to announce themes of the week and show different titles, and that was a great way to alert the campus of books that otherwise they might not have known we had. More recently, we have also began posting photos of the library from the perspective of the students in hopes that seeing others in the space and interacting with the library faculty and staff will encourage more use of our services and eventually bolster attendance at future programs. So the pictures that we've been posting show students enjoying the library or working in the library and doing various activities and working with the librarians when possible, because one of the ways we want to show that the library is not only a building where you can do work, but there are people working in the library who can help you, and other students are using these services, and so should you. So let's face it, Facebook has learned from MySpace mistakes. Remember MySpace? Well, Facebook has been making constant improvements to the site, and that points toward the idea that Facebook is probably a permanent fixture in our internet world. In modern librarianship, social media savvy is an implicit competency, particularly for those whose job titles focus on outreach or intense community engagement. And by the way, if you're going to be a librarian, Community engagement is part and parcel of any job you do, no matter the specialty. With many managers wary of people who don't have a social media presence, along with discussions of having separate professional and personal Facebook profiles, and the fact that ALA, ACRL, and many other library and information science professional associations and divisions have a Facebook presence, it is duly noted that social media has blurred the distinction between personal and recreational spaces and activities. And at the end of the day, Perkins and Charnago and Barnett Ellis agree. If Facebook is where your patrons are, library and information science professionals should be there too. That's all I have for you for this class. If you have questions, please forward them to your professor or send me an email directly at katrina@mailbox.sc.edu. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you.